Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisa and this is Finley Place. Today I'm going to be giving my backyard some much needed TLC. I've put it off for long enough and it's finally caught up with me, so I need to really get this done. I need to weed out this garden, clean off the sidewalk, I need to clean off my back deck. Vincent cut down a bunch of trees out of our bush line and that all needs to be cleaned up. And I also need to rake up a bunch of dead grass that he recently mowed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving a bunch of these tree branches that he cut down. And you know me, I like to clean in sections, and that includes outside as well. So I'm going to put all of these tree branches in one pile and get this first quote unquote section done, which is the front where the dogs like to look out the fence. Some of these trees are actually part of a thorn tree, so they have really big thorns on them. And because of that, I'm kind of going slow with it because, man, they poke you and you really know it. Those suckers really hurt. There's this one part of the bush that is still sticking out, and I swear it just keeps grabbing my hair every time I walk by. So I decided I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna cut it down. It's fine, no big deal. I wish I had better tools. My choppers are pretty old and kind of dull, so I had to use a saw on part of it to finally get it to come off. But hey, at least I got something, right? Supposed to be blazing hot on this day, so I actually got started with this project like around 8 o'clock in the morning. You can see that the house is creating some shade, but it's gonna get really hot really fast. It's already kind of muggy and I'm already sweating, so I'm trying to get this done before the midday heat really kicks in. This ladder, I'm not really sure what Vince used it for. I'm assuming he used it to reach over the fence and cut stuff down. I'm really not sure, but we'll just put it away and not question it, I guess. So I'm just raking up a bunch of the leaves and the twigs that were left over from the branches, and I'm also getting up a lot of this dead grass. You can leave dead grass after you mow it, but it's going to create thatch in your yard, which makes it really hard for your yard to get aerated, or to sometimes it messes with the water absorption. So I'm gonna take all of these down to the big burn pile, and I ended up doing, I don't know, I think like 4 or 5 loads with this because it's just a tiny trailer. And again, some of these are the thorn tree and they are very, very pricky. So I just took my time loading them onto the trailer and just ran them down to the burn pile where Vincent can just burn them later on. So I'm just scooping up the rest of this grass. I got all the trees taken down and they're dumped and ready to be burned. And I'm just raking up the rest of this dead grass, and I'm going to get that loaded into the trailer, and I'm going to take it down to the regular compost pile, and it can just be composted. beginning of this summer has just been so busy for us. Everything has just kind of fallen behind. We've really had to just like edge out time for everything. But sometimes it just is like that. Now, so when I dumped this, I thought, oh, I'll just pull away like I did with the tree branches, but it did not work out that way. So I ended up having to get out and push it out of the trailer, which is kind of funny. I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny. Thankfully, this was the last load I had to move in the trailer, and basically the yard is pretty much cleaned up. I got all the trees taken down. I got all of this dead dry grass taken down, and so now I'm just gonna move on to my little garden that I have right there. I used to call it an herb garden, but there's not a whole lot of herbs in there anymore. They keep dying off. Maybe it was a bad place to put it. I'm not really sure. But this is what I'm trimming first is a lemon balm or lemon mint, or sometimes I think it's called Melissa as well. I've had it for years, and sometimes it just really grows wild, and sometimes it grows really well. But I'm gonna chop it up. I mean, I'm gonna really chop it up, and believe me, it'll grow back. I know it's gonna look terrible when I'm done, but it will all grow back. It does every year. And I like to save all of the cuttings though, and I dry them out, and I'll use them like for teas, or sometimes I make tinctures out of them. A lemon balm tincture is really good for like anxiety or insomnia. It's really relaxing and soothing. Or you can even make simmer pots for your house, and it smells just like you cleaned with Pledge or with lemon pine sol. Or even Mr. Clean. It kind of smells like Mr. Clean, only better. It doesn't smell so chemically. I don't know, it's a hard word to say. But yeah, so I do save all of these cuttings. As you can see, it's going to flower already. You know, I've just been so busy with my big garden and just all kinds of other things around the house. And I just really have not given this garden the attention that it needed. I have euthanasia over here. I have yarrow, some lavender. I had a really big sage plant, but it died. We're going to be pulling that out as well. See, look at all of that. That's just crazy. Some years it just grows crazy like that, and some years it doesn't. I think I've had this plant maybe 10 years or so. But yeah, I like to make lots of things out of it. I just dry it out. Just let it all dry out. And these weeds here, a lot of it is not marigolds, morning glories. And when we moved in, it'll be 7 years this fall that we've lived here. And my entire back deck was completely covered in morning glories, just everywhere. It was kind of cool, but they're kind of like a weedy kind of a plant. And I am still trying to get rid of them. They just grow everywhere. You just take it out, and the next day you come out and there's another one. And the bad thing about them is that they just wrap around everything. So they choke out any plants that they're actually wanting to grow. So I try to get them all cleaned out. And here's where I'm taking out the sage plant. Initially, I started out with 4 sage plants, but slowly they've all died over the course of the last few years. And this was the last one. I'm not really sure why it died. I couldn't tell you. I don't know if they just die after a while or if I killed it. I probably killed it somehow. I'm not really sure. But I'm just pulling it out, and I feel kind of sad because I really like this little sage plant. It makes these real pretty little purple flowers, and the bees just love it. So I'm a little bit sad that I have to pull it out, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to get started on this sidewalk. I put this in a couple years ago, like maybe 3 years ago. And I just used some bricks that I had around the house, just some stuff I had here. And anyway, when I went to go clean out the weeds out of the cracks, I noticed that a lot of this stuff is like way deep and it's just not coming out. So I thought, I'm just gonna pull up all the bricks and clean the weeds out from actually under the bricks and then just put them back. Nothing's in there permanently. I built this, like I said, like maybe 3 years ago, and I just used a bunch of material that I had here. So I don't have like a vapor barrier or weed barrier or whatever you want to call it. And there's some pea gravel underneath, but not very much. So things can grow. And usually I can pull them out, but this year they were just really stuck in there really good and didn't want to come out. So now it is like blazing hot outside and my phone is going to overheat. And so I don't get to finish showing you me cleaning out the bricks here because my phone's gonna die. And then I end up putting the bricks back and I don't get to show you any of that either because my phone was dead. But here's a good look at it. You can see it looks really cleaned out and really nice now. It wasn't very hard at all the bricks just went right back in. Just smashed them down real good. And so I'm gonna sweep up the weeds, well I guess rake up the weeds that I pulled out, and this little section will be done. So that's good. It's late in the evening. It's probably like, I don't know, 6 o'clock or so. And this is the last I'm gonna do for today. And then tomorrow in the video, I'm gonna do the other 2 sections. So here's the other section. It's not going to take long and it's not that bad. It's just some stuff that needs put away and some weeds pulled out, and give it a good sweep and it'll be good. I'm going to put my house plant away. I brought it outside and retransplanted it into some new potting soil and gave it a really good drink of water and let it sit outside so that way it could drain really good. And I'm just going to pull out more marigolds, or I'm sorry, morning glories. I always call them marigolds. I'm not sure why, I just do. And of course, they're just everywhere. They just, and I can't get down there to get the root out. So, and here's some more. See how they just kind of wrap around the fence and they just kind of take over everything. So I decided to start this part of the project really early in the morning. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's supposed to get really hot on this day as well, so I wanted to just get this done, get it done while it was in the shade, and it's just a little bit left to do, so it shouldn't take long. Well, if you've stuck around this long, I'd like to just say thanks a lot. I really appreciate your time. I really love it that you took the time to watch my video. If you like it, I would ask you to give me a thumbs up. It just kind of helps with the algorithm. And if you like to see any more of my content, I would just ask you to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. But otherwise, we are just going to keep plugging right along and get this back deck cleaned off. These are my starter pots, you know, when you start seeds in the house. And these are the ones that didn't really do anything. So I'm just going to bag them up. I reuse them. I rinse them out and clean them and reuse them every year. So I'm just going to put them in little bags and just stick them back with my other gardening stuff, and we'll try it again next year. A lot of the stuff did, you know, start and sprouted and it's already in the garden, and this is just some that didn't, and I just hadn't taken the time. You know, like I said, we've just been so busy with so much stuff that you just gotta force the time, you know, and I just haven't yet, and so I'm doing it now. And we're gonna get this all cleaned up and swept because, you know, that seems like that's all there is to do is sweep, sweep, sweep. It's okay though. A good sweeping, you know, does wonders. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a little cicada or locust or whatever you want to call it on the floor over there, and I'm trying not to squish them. I think they're really cool. They're so ugly, they're cute. Have you ever heard that saying before? My grandma used to say that a lot. It's so ugly, it's cute. And I think they're pretty cool. I know they can like do a lot of damage or whatever, but he's not doing any damage, so I figure I'll just leave him alone. If I catch him in my garden, that'll be a different story, but right now he's not bothering anybody. So on this back deck, it really wasn't that bad. It was mostly just putting stuff away, putting the furniture back where it belongs, and wiping things down. That's really it. Sometimes when, especially like if we're cleaning the house or we're doing any kind of projects in the house, we tend to just throw it on the back deck and think, oh, we'll get it later. But you know, sometimes later doesn't come. So you have to, you know, edge out that time and make sure that you get it. Vincent and I like to spend like a Saturday or a Sunday morning out here on the back deck with our coffee, because as you can see, it's really shaded early in the morning, and it's really nice to just sit back here and have our coffee and let the dogs run around. So I like to try to keep this picked up and organized as much as I can. Sometimes it just kind of falls apart like everything else, but that's okay. As long as I make sure I take the time to come out here and clean it. And you know, a lot of times it's just about putting stuff away and wiping off the flat surfaces. And sometimes the floor can be the biggest flat surface. So here is a look at what we started with, all of the weeds and the overgrown stuff and the messy back porch and the messy little area right there, along with all of the tree branches and dead grass that needed raked up, and a bush that kept pulling my hair. We got a lot done. Look at all that. And then here's a look at what it looks like now. Straightened up, cleaned up, so much more comfortable. Sure, I could have did a little bit more detail stuff, but you know what? This will work. It feels better. It looks better. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you